All right, you guys, welcome back to Knuckle Sandwich MMA. Wow, what a fight we had last night on ESPN Plus, and we had a number of fighting, great international fighters coming in to Yas Island, Abu Dhabi, and it did not disappoint. I mean, there were some amazing fights, a couple of fights that were okay, but and then we had one that was canceled. But I'm gonna take on the main card, and we're gonna go over that. First fight of the night was a really on the main card was a really good fight, and that was Abdul Razak Al Hassan versus Monir Lazez. I hope I'm pronouncing those names correctly. The Abdul Razak Al Hassan came in at 3 pounds overweight, and the fight still took place. And Monir Lazez is a newcomer to the UFC, and he was representing Abu Dhabi, believe it or not. What a fight that was! You know, there's a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Abdul Al Hassan hits hard, really hard. He's very strong. I was looking at his legs. Those legs look like tree trunks. I mean, they were massive. His thighs were just massive. A lot of muscle on that guy. And normally, when you carry that kind of muscle, it tends to suck all your oxygen. It'll drain your gas tank really fast if you're doing a lot of punches. And in the first round, the opening round, he did a flurry of punches on Lazez. I had him against the fence, and he was dropping some big bombs. And I thought, wow, this guy's going to get knocked out in the first round. But he weathered the storm. Lazez weathered the storm, and he started to pick his shots. He was doing some amazing counter punching and knees, kicks. He had a mixed bag of tricks that was causing Al Hassan some problems. And so he weathered the storm and came back and started just peppering him with some strikes, and really confusing, I think frustrating Al Hassan a little bit, because he just couldn't take him out. And he gave him some great shots. I'm telling you, Lazez has a chin on him. It was a super exciting fight. I really enjoyed that fight. Like I told you on the pre-fight show, there were going to be some sleeper hits and some barn burners, and there you go, a slobber knocker. I also said that too. But that fight, the skill set on Lazez and Al Hassan, he has nothing to hang his head about, because he was looking really good too. He started to gas, and they both did, but they went 3 rounds, and it was a really good fight. And Lazez had his hand raised because the Al Hassan just couldn't keep up anymore, and he was getting peppered pretty good. But I really think that Lazez has a good future in this game. Thing I liked about him was he was really long. He had long muscle striations, as far as, you know, he had that fighter's body that is going to cause people some trouble. He was strong. He had a good cardio. Al Hassan, huge man, big muscles everywhere you look. And if he knocks you out, if he gets you in the first round, you know, you're in a lot of trouble. But he'll come out and he'll fire it off, because I think he came out and said, I need to knock this dude out, because I might not have the gas tank to go all 3 rounds. He is a big man. So, and I don't blame him. To have a body, a physique like that, and expect to have super cardio, I don't know how that works. But Lazez had great cardio. He was lean, mean, super confident, had a great personality. Even his post-fight interview was really great. He had a really good attitude. I like the guy. Had a great personality. All right, so I appreciate that fight. And the next fight up on the card was Molly McCann, and she was fighting Taylor Santos. And that was another good fight. These ladies came in to throw down. McCann is no slouch. She has her physique. She's a little bit short. She was a little bit shorter than Santos, a lot thicker. And Santos was kind of like Lizez in a way. She was long and lean, very muscular, but her muscles were long. They were long muscles. They weren't compact. And she had a reach advantage over McCann. McCann got in at the first round, and she was getting in there because she had to duck and fire in and come in close to get to Santos. And they both traded some big shots. McCann started to get the worst of it as Santos was able to take her down. Good jiu-jitsu, really good jiu-jitsu. I was impressed with Santos. First time I've seen her fight. Second time I've seen McCann fight, and super impressed with Santos. She was really good. She's going to be a contender someday, I think. She had a really good cardio as well. She didn't seem to gas. And McCann as well. She had great cardio. She was hanging in there, but she was just getting outstruck. It was hard to get in when Santos was just lobbing those long jabs and kicks and everything. And so it was hard for McCann to really get in there. But ultimately, Santos had her hand raised, and I think it was a TKO on that one. But it was a great fight, super competitive. McCann is no slouch. I have much respect for her because she did not quit. She just kept going and going and going, but she got beat up a little bit. All right, so another good fight, man. So on that main card, like 2 fights in a row. Well, here comes number 3. So we have Jimmy Rivera at the featherweight versus Cody Stamann. And that was also another good fight. When I saw the physique on Jimmy Rivera, I don't think I've seen him that yoked before. He looked like he was in great shape. He had very little body fat on him. He's looking really good. Stamann, of course, he's always looking good. He's got a pretty good physique himself. Both of them have big, strong legs, strong kicks. But Jimmy Rivera, he came out and he dictated the fight as far as where he wanted it to go. And he was throwing some haymakers. He really wanted to put Stamann out. He wanted to take him out. So he was throwing some big bombs. Stamann was able to maneuver and evade some of the strikes. And then they both had some effective leg kicks. But I think Stamann had got the worst of it. If you looked at the inside of his right leg, he had a bruise that was about this big, and it was pretty nasty looking. Both of his legs were beat up. He did the return fire with to Rivera, and Rivera, he did. I don't think he was really gassing. He just put in the work. He put in a lot of work, and a super great fight. But ultimately, Stamann just couldn't keep up with the pace. I think the pressure that Rivera put on. He really, in fact, in this post-fight interview, Rivera, he won, by the way. Rivera had his hand raised. But in this post-fight interview, he wasn't happy with his performance because I think he wanted to take him out. He wanted to finish. That was really important to him, especially coming off of a loss. He wanted to have a finish. He didn't get it, but that just shows you how tough Stamann is. He's a good fighter. I like both of them. And to be honest with you, I could not pick who was going to win. I think at the very beginning, I was watching the fights with my grandson, Nico. And at the very beginning, I was leaning towards Stamann, and he was leaning towards Rivera. And he proved to be right. So there you go. But it was a super technical fight, very, very aggressive fight, a lot of pressure. And those are the fights you absolutely love. I loved it, and I was really happy. And the energy just kept going up and up and up. So it was a great fight. So congratulations to Jimmy, and welcome back to the win circle. Next up, we have Tim Elliott and Ryan Benoit. And another really good fight. What can I say? I'm a Tim Elliott fan. I've seen Ryan Benoit fight before, and he's pretty good. He's a strong kid. I really liked his punching power. But the gas tank, well, and both of them had good gas tanks. I don't want to say one gassed out because no one really gassed out in that fight, in my opinion. But Benoit did slow down a little bit, and Tim Elliott, when they got on the ground, and I told my grandson Nico, I said, hey, these guys, it surprised me because I said, Tim Elliott's going to get him to the ground and he's going to twist him up and he's going to pretzel him and he's going to look for a submission. And they did that, but they also were standing and striking, and Tim Elliott had some pretty good jabs. He got tagged by Benoit a couple of times, and kind of got mad and started firing back, and he was landing his shots. So he said, in his post-fight interview, well, by the way, Tim Elliott won, but in his post-fight interview, he said that this is the first time that he's ever landed so many jabs, and he credits his coaches for that. And I'm trying to remember his coach's name, and I know him. Everybody knows him, but his name escapes me right now. But yeah, he credited his coach with the stand-up, with the striking, and he was really, really happy. I don't think I've ever seen Tim Elliott that happy before. He's usually kind of got a smirk, and he's usually complaining about something, but not this time. He was all smiles. He put on a great performance. I'm giving him an A+. I mean, their scrambles were tight. They were technical. Everything was technical. Both Benoit, both of these guys went back and forth, and Benoit landed some good shots, but Elliott weathered the storm, and their ground game was just super technical. I mean, they were escapes. There were everything that you wanted in an MMA fight was in this fight, and it was super, super exciting. So that was another great fight. Congratulations, Tim Elliott. Good to see you in the winner's circle. Benoit, hang in there, man, because you got a lot of promise, and I really like your attitude. I like your outlook. Very, very good fight. So I'm super excited about that. Somebody keeps dinging. Sorry about that, guys. And then the main fight of the evening. That is the one I'm super excited about. This one was Calvin Kattar versus Dan Ige. And this was for a featherweight belt, 5-rounder. So because it was a main event, and another technical, very, very technical fight to go 5 rounds. Now, from what I understand, Dan Ige has never gone 5 rounds before. So that was a test for him as well. I think he's only done 3-rounders, but this was his very first main event. And what a great main event. What a way to come out and make your debut for a main event, and that is on Island and having all these eyeballs on you. Kattar, what can I say about this guy? He is he's a machine. I mean, he doesn't seem to get winded at all. I think he got his nose broke. Ige, he landed a really good shot, and it looked like the bridge of his nose kind of flattened a little bit, and there was quite a bit of blood. It looked like a broken nose to me. And there were the commentary also may have mentioned that it was a broken nose as well. I'm not sure, but this fight went back and forth. In the early rounds, Ige, he put on a pretty good fight. He was a little bit shorter, and even though his reach the reach was similar, Kattar knew how to use his legs and his and how he came in a little bit better than Ige. And so he kept Ige on the outside. Ige tried to get in a couple of times, but he made him pay. And when he was throwing these right hooks and left hooks, the counter punching of Kattar was superior. Very, very, very good shots. And wow, somebody keeps messaging. I'm sorry, you guys. Let me turn this off. There we go. Sorry about that. So it was a really technical fight. It went back and forth. Now, I probably gave Ige 1 round. I think I gave him the first round, but then Calvin Kattar, I gave him the next 4 rounds, but it was a unanimous decision. They went all 5 rounds, unanimous decision on Kattar for Calvin Kattar. And the thing I like about him, he doesn't seem to have any fear. Even when he got hurt, he kept pawing at his nose. because I'm pretty sure he was in pain, but he played it off pretty good, except for this. He was doing this a lot. But man, he didn't back down. A couple of times he took a back step, but that was just because of feints and the in and outs that was going on between those two. But most of the time he was pressuring. And I don't think Ige is used to that. I think he's used to being the pressure guy. And he just kind of got pushed back a little bit. And he was game though, man. Ige, hats off to you, sir. You were a game fighter. You didn't quit. You don't know the meaning of the word quit, I'm pretty sure. But at the end of the day, at the end of the fight, Ige's face really took the brunt of it, even though Kattar had kind of a smashed nose. Ige had a couple of a mouse and a cut. But what a fight, man. And the respect that they showed to each other at the end was admirable. I like that kind of sportsmanship. It was a great fight. So this card, and they had some great fights on the prelims as well. I mean, some really, really good fights. The whole card, I can't wait for Saturday. So the action was intense. Everything played out to the best that you could want, especially if you're a real hardcore MMA fan. Just the technique and the expertise and the various tools that they use was really, really spectacular. I really enjoyed it. And as we were watching, I was trying to educate my grandson, Nico. He's 15 years old, on the holds and the moves and the chokes and the different things that were going on. So he understood it a little bit better. Again, I'm just a fan, but I really love MMA, and I'm trying to learn a little bit more as we go along and try to be more analytical and see things for what they are. My goal is not necessarily to sound like a professional, like I really know what I'm talking about, because my goal is just to understand the art better. And just to convey the excitement that I feel when I'm watching these fights. That's what I'm trying to do. Okay. Anyway, thank you for watching Knuckle Sandwich, and thank you for watching the post-fight show. And then we're going to do another pre-fight show for Saturday, which is going to be a super, super good fight. They got some great fights going on there. And let me give you a preview of who is fighting. We got Figueiredo and Benavidez, part 2. First fight was a little controversial because of a head clash and a lot of blood. And then we've got, let's see. And they're actually fighting for the vacant flyweight title. And then we've got Jack Hermanson versus Kelvin Gastelum. Kelvin is one of my favorite fighters. I like Jack too. They're both really good fighters. That's going to be a good bout at middleweight. And then we got Mark Diakese and Rafael Viziv, I think his name is. I've never seen Rafael Viziv, but I've seen Mark Diakese, and that dude is an exciting fighter. And then we have Ariane Lipsky for women's flyweight bout with Luana Carolina. And I've seen Luana fight before. I'm not sure about Ariane Lipsky. She looks like a new one to me. And then Alexandre Pantoja for flyweight bout with Askar Askarov. And I've seen both of those guys fight. And Alexandre, that dude is a beast. He's going to be a champion someday. Mark my words. He's going to be a champion someday. So stay tuned for that pre-fight analysis, and we're going to go over everything. And hopefully you guys are viewing and liking and share. Please like and share this. Subscribe to the channel and like and share. I'm posting it on Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, and there you go. All right, you guys have a wonderful day. We'll see you on the flip side. Let me see if I can turn this off. Keep those fists up. I'm trying to come up with a catchphrase. Help me out. If you make a comment, help me out. Help me come up with a catchphrase. All right. See you later.